I started my career as a software designer and developer. That had its consequences. It also severely affected my thinking. I have a tendency to look at every challenge like it's a software design problem. Now, you cannot apply that to everything. Matters of the heart require a distinctly different approach. Don't try to rewrite the system software of your partner or friends. It does not work. But there are quite a few things that can be approached from a software design angle. Today, I want to talk about one of them, money. Money is the killer app with 7.5 billion users. When you design software, you also design the way people will use it. And that has an influence on their behavior. Great games, for example, are designed to be addictive. If you got the feeling you can take on the game's challenge and you get instant rewards when you succeed, you're likely to be sucked in. Just one more level, honey! Or take Facebook. One more post. One more. Last one, really. The way you design software influences the behavior of the people using it. Now, one of the defining properties of software is that it is 100% man-made. There are no fields where software is grown or mines where it is dug up. This is something it has in common with money. As the saying goes, money doesn't grow on trees. Just like software, it is 100% man-made. Money is kind of like software everyone uses. Now, money is a strange thing, isn't it? We use it almost every day, but we hardly ever think about its nature. What was your relationship with money when you grew up? I took it for granted. Just like I took the existence of air for granted. Now, I was lucky enough to grow up in a fairly wealthy middle-class family, and money was never really a problem. But yet, I still got the message that what you have should not be shared. That didn't really sit well with me, though. When I went to university, I was the first of my friends to have a car. It quickly became a shared car. I also paid for drinks a little bit more than my friends did, because I could. And that's been a theme throughout my life. It makes me feel good when I can share something, be it my car, my house, or by paying for a dinner. And according to research, that joy of sharing is part of human nature. It wasn't until I inherited my family's wealth that I was brutally confronted with what money can do to a person. I inherited enough to share with others in my family and still have plenty left for myself. And yet, was a reluctance in sharing I had not felt before. Because you see, when you have a lot of money, it easily attracts more money. Just like having a lot of debt easily gets you into more debt. Give the money away and it's gone, together with its power to attract more money. The pull was tangible. More. This was my first-hand experience with how money affects someone's thinking and actions, and not just mine. The presence of all that money causes strife in the family. The design of money influences our behavior, just like the design of software does. And science backs this up. I read an article in the June 2016 issue of Scientific American where they researched our behavior after we handled money. The conclusion? After handling money, we become less willing to share and less willing to help others. This kind of behavior starts at the age of 3. The way you design software influences the behavior of the people using it. And everyone uses the money app. Now, this is not how I came to spend most of my time working in monetary systems. That started back in 2012 when I was wondering, why is it so hard to solve our climate change problem? We knew what was going on. We knew what had to be done, and we had the technology to do it. Or from a software design angle, we identified the problem, programmed the solution, and all we had to do was run the program. But that's still not really happening. Why? Money. there's just not enough money to do what needs to be done. It will hurt the economy. But money is 100% man-made. That's kind of like saying, we don't have enough Pokemons in order to end poverty. So I started looking at money the way I do at software. How is it designed? For most people, very badly. For one, there are only a limited number of sources, namely the banks. Now, some of you will be thinking work, but work does not create money. It transfers money from the employer to the employee. It's a distribution system. Banks, they create money every time someone takes out a loan. Now, the first time I read that, I thought I had landed on some conspiracy theory side, because to me this was just too ridiculous to be true. After some digging, I found the same statement in a document published by the Central Bank of England. Now, these guys should know what you're talking about, right? So there you have it. Money is created by banks, which makes them the source of money. But they are fenced sources. You cannot just walk into a bank and say, "Can I have some money?" and expect them to give it to you. Unless you're a bank robber, of course, but that strategy doesn't always work either. Banks will only create money for you if you can bring back more than you took out. That's called interest. Just let that sink in. A bank will create money for you if you bring back more than they created. But how are we supposed to pay for that interest if money is created by banks through loans? Who the hell created this app? I can imagine most people are not very willing to share their money. Can I have some money? Sorry, no can do. I have to bring it back to the bank. But money is 100% man-made. That means the app can be rewritten. And that opens up a lot of possibilities. Software design always starts with a goal. What do we use money for? Exchanging value. Now, some of you will be thinking saving for a rainy day. True. But you'll want to trade it in for something else eventually. Having the money has no value in itself when no one is willing to give you something for it. Just try buy a coffee with a non-known foreign currency and you'll see what I mean. It's when money exchanges hands, when it moves, that value is created. So basically, we want to use money to exchange value. Now, what if we could design the money app in such a way that we also get rid of poverty and that things like education, healthcare, and taking care of the environment don't have budget problems anymore? That would create a better world, wouldn't it? This is easier than you think when you're creating the money app. Since we choose how the app works, we can just create money for the things we need. We simply create money for education, healthcare, and the environment, for everything that helps build a better society. Poverty can be solved by creating a steady income stream for every living person on the planet. Basic income without the financing problems. All debt-free. And yes, we can do this, because this is software and we are writing it. We also have to destroy money. Continuously creating it would just make it lose its value and freak out every single economist on the planet. They call it inflation. It's an easy problem to solve, though. Excessive hoarding creates a rampant inequality we can witness today. If we tackle that by implementing a tax on money hoarding, and we destroy the money collected from that tax, we don't only take care of inflation, we also get rid of extreme inequality. Now, that means there is a limit to what you can hold on to. But remember, the security of savings has now been replaced by the security of a never-ending income stream. Currently, even in Belgium, where I'm from, and which is a rich country by all means, almost a quarter of the population is struggling to make ends meet. I believe we can create an economy where everyone can thrive. So do the people I work with. We have dubbed it haponomy. Reprogramming our monetary system just might be the fastest way to create a fairer, happier world. A world where we can move from making a living to having a life. The monetary system I just described, and which I've named See Me, makes sure no one ever has to worry about making ends meet. Everything that is needed to build a well-functioning society will always have adequate funding. And businesses sitting on stashes of cash will have an incentive to invest it because of the hoarding tax. That same hoarding tax makes sure money moves, thereby guaranteeing a working economy and increasing accessibility to money for everyone. Accessibility for the poor, for budding entrepreneurs, for research, for the environment, for artists. The list goes on. I want to live in a fair world, a world where everyone has a fair chance to thrive, no matter where they are born. The way our money is designed today stands in the way of that. It should and can support our well-being instead of hindering it. All we have to do is write the software and run the program. It is that easy. Or do we really want to keep running the planet on badly designed software? Now, I know there will be those who say it cannot be done. There were also people who said man would never fly. Or that women's voting rights were a pipe dream. Or that people of color would never sit in the same section of the bus as white people do, let alone become president of the United States. History has shown the impossible does happen. We can make it happen again. We can write a new money app. When we unite, there is no stopping us. Thank you.